Remember, for your do nows, we're doing them by ourselves, silently, focusing, and sitting up straight. Remember, we're still working on good posture 100% of the time, okay? So I'm going to hand out your do now. You're going to have about a minute and a half to do it, okay? Also, today your do nows are in a packet. Don't turn the page over, just do your do now. Writing his name down. Police is hard at work. Welcome, Jamal. All right, wrap it up in about 20 seconds. Mm-hmm. 10 seconds.
Ready. You need to take a visitor's pass if you're saying.
All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Give me even if you're not done, I want to make sure you're just paying attention. Okay. All right, Kyle, you can finish up. Thank you. All right. So first things first, before we go over the do now, I'd like to point out that we have a shout out that Mr. Koenig and I came up with for how well you guys behaved yesterday during that quiz. We know you took 3 quizzes in a row. You also had a lot of surveys to do. So we want to give a shout out to everyone for being so well behaved during the assessment, and you all finished on time. It was fantastic. We also have a few likes that we want to share because we haven't done that in a few days. These are from Wednesday's class. And we have to Jamal for remaining quiet and not talking after he finished his quiz yesterday, so awesome. And then for Wednesday to Ashley for being a super participant. She raised her hand a ton, and that's what we love to see. So your guys' names were put in the raffle ticket jar, and yeah, we're going to keep doing that. So let's go over the do now. So it says right here, what is the difference between the following nouns? Student versus students. Jamal.
Student is one person, and students is more than one person.
Awesome. So with student, you have just one student. So Jaren's one student. But then over here, I have a group of 3 students because I got Khalees, Ashley, and Jamal. So today we're going to be working on figuring out the difference between what's called a singular noun and a plural noun, which means the difference between student and students. So just to be formal and so everyone can have a chance, can someone come up and read the status update? Who would like to do that? Jaren, would you like to take a stab at it? Come on up, read loudly so everyone can hear.
Students will be able to identify and use singular and plural pronouns.
Exactly. Take a seat. Thank you. So students will be able to identify and use singular and plural nouns. So turn over to the next page in your packet. These are your guided notes. I'm going to put them on here so you're going to see them on the board. And as I'm teaching, I want you to follow along and fill it in. Okay? All right. Let's look at what it says. Ooh, this is getting a little tricky to read. Here we go. How's this for everyone? Is this pretty good? Yeah, I'm seeing some nodding. All right. So we're going to start with a general rule first. Can someone read out what the first line is under general rule? Khalees. Exactly. Oh, no, it's okay. Thank you for sharing the first one. So a singular noun names one person, place, or thing. For example, noun, pencil, pen, or as we said, a student. Okay? Can someone read this one? Jamal.
The plural noun names more than one person, place, or name.
Exactly. So the plural noun names more than one. So if you see singular noun or plural noun, that's a fancy way of saying a noun that's just for one or a noun that's for more than one. Okay? But singular, you can always remember single, just one. That can kind of help you. Plural is kind of a funky word. But if you remember that singular means single and that's one, you'll always know plural means more than one. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of practice for what the basic general rule is. And the general rule for most nouns, so for almost all the nouns you can think of or you're going to see, you're going to just add an S to the end of the word. It is that easy. So if I have to add an S to that word, what am I going to come up with? Please. Teachers. So everyone write this in. So we got that S. And that's also a good thing is to say it very clearly when you're speaking too, because people want to be able to know what you're talking about. You're talking about one or more than one. So you make sure to say teachers. You add that S, you add some extra oomph to it. What about book? Philip. Books. Perfect. So you went from books, you added the S, then you got books. It is as easy as that. Let's try one more. I want to hear from someone I haven't heard from yet today. So, cup. Ashley, what do we do with cup?
Cups.
Cups. Perfect. Once again, we're adding the S. So you're always going to add this S right here. All right, now we're going to move on to nouns that have kind of weirder endings. This looks like a lot. It's like all of these endings. But once we break it down, it's going to become a lot easier. So you have nouns. What about nouns that already end in S? That kind of makes you wonder, wait, how do I make that plural if it already has an S on the end? Do I just add another S? No. You have a different rule for that. You're going to add an ES. Pay attention, please.
Right.
Thank you. So you're going to add an ES to the end of the word for S, SH, CH, X, Z, SS, and O. So it sounds like a lot to remember, but the great thing is at the end of your packet, when we get there, I have something called a resource card that you can fold over and then rip out and that you can use for your independent practice and your exit ticket. It's going to help you just remember these things. But these will probably be second nature for you, so let's do the first one. Bus. How do we think we're going to make that plural? Kyle.
Buses.
Buses. So can you spell that for me?
B-U-S-S-E-S.
B-U-S-S. Okay. Close. Here's our original word, right? Bus. We're just adding an ES. So you said it completely right. It's buses. But we don't want to add that extra S in there because then that's going to get a little confusing. So I want you to look at how I spell it and then write it correctly on your sheet. So it's going to end up being buses with just one S in the middle, right? So we've got our original word right here. And then what are we adding? An ES, just the ES, okay? What do you think for dishes? Can you help me out with that one? What do we think? What are we going to add to that? ES. So how would we end up spelling that?
E-I-S-H-E-S.
Perfect. Exactly. All you're doing is adding an ES. Do you have a question?
No, I was trying to participate.
Awesome. I love that. So can you do peach for me? How would you spell peaches if it were going to be plural?
E-E-A-C-H-E-S.
P-E-A-C-H-E-S. Exactly. You guys are doing exactly what it says up there. You're just adding an ES. It is that easy. I like what Mr. K is doing. He's giving you guys more class points because you guys are doing awesome and participating. You're sitting up straight. You're remaining quiet. I love this. Okay, so fox. You're gonna notice a pattern. It's super easy. Ashley.
ESFEN.
Perfect. So spell it for me.
FOXES.
Awesome. Who's gonna do buzz for me? Daniel.
ES.
Spell the whole word, please.
BUZZES.
Fantastic. Dress. This one is a little tricky because it looks like it's got a lot of S's. Philip, why don't you take a guess? What would we do to make dress plural?
D.
Hmm?
The E-S.
Put ES, exactly. So can you spell that for me?
D-R-E-S-S-E-S.
Fantastic. You guys are getting this. And our last one, potato. It's our weird word that ends with an O. Kyle, what do we think? Okay, how do we spell that? What do you add on the end?
E-S.
ES. So, step me through this. How do I spell this? I start with a P, then what?
P-O-T-A-T-O-E-S.
Awesome. You guys are getting it. All right, moving down. Nouns that end in Y. So these are kind of funny ones too. But there's an easy rule for that. You're going to replace the Y with an I. Sounds kind of similar. And then you're going to add an ES to the word. So let's look at lady. I'll do that first one with you guys. Lady, if we take away that, take away the Y, right? Then you just have lad, which sounds kind of funny. But we're going to change it to an I. And then what does it say right here? What are we adding to it, Jamal?
E-S.
ES. So now look at what we have. Ladies. We have more than one lady. Who wants to do fry for me? I like a French fry. Philip. How are we going to make fry more than one fry? So spell that for me.
F-R-Y-I-E-S.
F-R. What comes after R?
Y-I.
Close. It gets a little tricky. Even though the Y is already there, you're replacing the Y with an I. So you're going to get rid of that Y. And what were you saying? You're adding I-E-S, right?
I-E-S.
Right. So when you get rid of that Y, you just add an I-E-S. Khalees, do you want to do strawberry for me? So spell it from the beginning.
S-T-R-A-W-B-E-R-R-I-E-S.
Awesome. Look at that long word you got there. Great. All right, turn your page. Just got a few more rules, but you guys are getting the hang of it. Jaron, would you read what to do with nouns that end in F or EF?
Nice.
That's the example. Yep. Can you read what the rule is? It's starting with replace.
Oh, replace the F or F-E with V.
Exactly. So you replace the F or the F-E with V-E-S. So we got just an F here, and we got an F-E here. Either one, F-E or F, we're going to replace it. Do you have a question, please? You think you can do it? All right. So if I'm getting rid of the F-E with V-E-S, what am I going to get for 9?
K-N-I-V-E-S.
K-N-I-V-E-S. Exactly. So we took away the F-E, and we just stuck in the V-E-S. Easy. Who wants to do wolf for me? Kyle, take it away.
W-O-V-E-W-O-L-V-E-S.
Nice. Good catch. Next. Okay, we can call this our ooh nouns if we want. So these aren't about endings. These are ones that have a double O in the middle of the noun. Okay? So we have tooth and foot. When you see a noun that has a double O in its spelling, you replace the double O with an E-E. So it kind of takes on a more, like a different spelling. If we're going to replace the O-O in tooth with an E-E, what am I going to get, Daniel?
For tooth, you take away the O, you put a T, like 2 E.
The 2 E's. So you take away the O, 2 O's, and you put in 2 E's. So you got T. Exactly. So it's like crossing out these 2 little guys and just, you can't really see my pen, and just putting in an EE. Okay, what about foot? Who wants to do foot? Bella. Yes. You guys are getting this. I'm so excited. Okay. All right, now this is our last one, irregular nouns, and then we're going to get to play a fun game. But first, irregular nouns, what that means is nouns that don't really follow a rule. They kind of have their own rules, okay? So, for example, child becomes children. You guys have heard that before, right? Woman becomes woman, just like man becomes men. This is a tricky one right here. I want you guys to put a star right next to it. Fish to fish. It's kind of weird, like it doesn't make any change. But if you think about it in a context of a sentence, I have a fish in my fish bowl. I have a fish, one fish. Then you could say there are a lot of fish in the sea. So it stays the same. Do you have a question?
School fish.
School fish. That's an excellent example of how to use it. So that's the next thing I was going to talk about. Thank you for leading me to that. First, Jamal, do you have a question?
I have a question.
Let's hear it.
So it doesn't, fish doesn't spell F-I-S-H-E-S.
It doesn't. I like what you're doing there. You're thinking about what we talked about before, which is that if it ends in an SH, right, you add the ES to it, right? That's exactly what we were talking about. These are just words that have finicky rules. Like we don't know where they come from or why they sound that way. It's just something you're going to have to remember, which is why I'm letting you guys have that resource card during your exit ticket to kind of remember the tricky ones like this. And I'm going to help you out. So basically, what we're going to do next is play a game that has a few of these in it. Okay? But I'm going to let you look at your papers at the same time because these ones are tricky to remember. Like deer and deer. The same thing as fish. Sometimes with animals, we got the same thing. Come on.
So was that kind of weird?
Is what?
Weird.
It's kind of weird. It is definitely kind of weird. So the way you can think of it in your mind is these are the weird nouns that I gotta remember. And I just gotta try to remember them. So it just takes a little bit of memorization. So you just gotta think about it a little bit more. Person, people, you guys know that one. All right, so right here as it says, fold your paper along this edge, rip gently, uses quick tips for a resource card. So you can do that right now if you so wish. I'm going to explain a game we're going to do today. Yeah! I like that enthusiasm. Okay, so, where are my games?
Can you play the game thing yesterday?
Oh, we're not playing that game. That game's fun. But if you get enough class points, maybe we can play that game on Monday. Okay, here's the deal. We're going to play Go Fish. What? Yeah, we're playing Go Fish. That's easy?
Yeah.
Oh, I made it a little bit trickier. So you guys know how to play Go Fish.
Yes. I think we were high school kids, not middle school.
You don't think it's, I was playing this with my roommates last night, and we had a lot of fun.
I played with my niece.
You play with your niece?
She's 5. Not fun.
Well, let's see.
Not fun.
You're funny. Let's see, though, how we're going to play this, because it's a little bit different, okay? Each pair, so partner groups, you're going to stay at your tables. Each pair is going to get a deck of cards. You have a question?
I know what scissors I'm talking about.
Let me help you with that in a little bit. Ashley, can you leave that for now, and then I'm going to help you during your exit ticket with that, because we got to focus on the game. Or Mr. K will take care of it. Here are the rules. I'm going to put these up on the overhead in case you forget them at any point during the game. These are the rules. You are going to get a deck of cards with your partner. Every person gets 4 cards. That's it. No more. The rest of the cards that are left over, are going to stay in a pile in between you. You get 4 cards each. Your job is to make pairs, right? Like in Go Fish, if you have a match or a pair, it's a 5 and a 5. You can put them to the side. This is a little bit different, so this is where I'm going to trick you. You think it's too easy? Just you wait. So, if we see foot, what do you think its pair would be? What do you think you would match foot with? Feet, exactly. So this takes a little bit of thinking. So you gotta match the singular noun, the one, with the more than one, the feet. That's how you make a pair, okay? So first things first, I'm gonna give every pair their deck of cards. Do not touch them yet. I need to explain this a little bit more. Keep these right here. These right here. Mr. K is going to play with you since we need pairs. All right, leave them right there. Okay, now what you're going to do, I want each of you to take 4 each out of the deck. 4 each. You can go. 4 each, just 4. And the remaining, you're going to put back in the middle of your table. Okay, so what you're going to do, you got these on the table? Make sure that the ones that are left, hold on, the ones that are left are turned over. You shouldn't be able to see the words. No, that's, okay, here's the deal. Okay, take that. If you already have a match in your 4, you already have a match, set it to the side. If you have a match. Only if you.
Make sure you don't let your partner see them, guys.
Hold them up like this. Hide them. Okay, so what you're going to do is you need to now, with your partner, make those matches. So you would say, like for example, if I have foot and I need feet, I would go, Kyle, do you have feet? If he does, he gives it to me, and then I get to go again. Awesome. But if he doesn't have it, he says, go fish, and I go into the deck and take one. And then you switch. Does that sound good? Okay. Easy. Well, we'll see. Go.
Who's first?
You can do it.
Sure. Do you have go fish? Yeah.
There you go.
That's right. That's what I'm gonna help you.
Yeah, speeches. Speeches. Yeah, speeches.
Go fish.
Perfect. Do your scarf.
Do you have
Nope. So what are you gonna do?
card? Do you have
Go
card?
fish. Take a card.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cards.
You have blankets.
For some reason, you get all my cards.
Do you
Let me see them.
Hey, I know what I'm saying. Woman.
You might pick it up.
No, go fish.
We only got a match each so far.
Go fish. You go
The
fish.
person that makes the most matches at the end of this game
Do you
gets a raffle
have-
ticket.
What's that word? I can't
Feet?
pronounce.
Yeah.
Feet.
No, go for it. Woohoo! Do you have
That's what you say.
mouse? Wait, no.
Go fish.
These.
Oh, you don't take them just yet. Not yet. This one.
What do you say?
Tooth.
All right, now your turn. Ask
Go
them for a
fish.
pair.
Yeah, man.
You man.
Because I'm not getting none of your cards, but you get all mine.
Do you have
Yeah. No.
cards?
No, go fish. Now you can take a card out of the deck.
Cards. It's got to be in there somewhere.
Nuts.
Okay. All right, your turn, Kyle. You ask them one. You mouse.
Turn, still your turn.
We're sticking on YouTube. Oh, do you have feet?
Nope.
Go fish.
You.
Aha.
You got match?
I think.
Oh wait, you have mouse. So what do you need? Oh,
I'm beating you.
you got a match.
Good time.
All right, so now you get to go again.
That's
You got a
it.
match. Yeah.
That's his match. He asked her.
Wait, guys,
Oh,
guys. You
all right,
asked.
now ask him. Blanket.
Ashley had
Sorry,
that
wait,
card.
oh, wait, wait,
What card?
hold that.
Mice.
You have
No, you
cards,
said-
Philip?
What'd you ask me, mice?
Well, that if you had mice, that becomes Jamal's.
I picked it up though. When I
Oh,
asked
when
him.
when
Yeah.
Oh, you picked it up. Gotcha.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
got
And I
it.
asked him.
You know
So
how.
make your match.
Put my niece.
Well, All right, ask him one.
Is it my turn or your turn, please?
How's it going?
I got a match.
No, because
This is awesome.
You got
because
foot.
you didn't have because you want to go fish right then you got to
Okay. Another 1 minute or so. We're gonna see who has the most matches.
I mean, leave it.
All right, Philip. Why don't you ask Kyle if he's got something? If you have tomatoes, what are you gonna ask that he has? What's the singular of that? So if that's tomatoes, that's a lot of tomatoes. What would just one of them be?
Tomato.
Tomato. Just the tomato. Tomato.
Go fish.
Go fish. Oh, I think you got tomato. So what do? You got your pear. Awesome. Okay, your turn now. Why don't you ask?
Do you have feet?
Dude, so my turn. Wait, what do you have? You have blankets. So what do you have? Oh, blankets. Do you have blankets?
No.
Team say. Go fish.
Cars.
You have scarf?
Now you do.
Are you gonna-
Do you have?
About 1 more minute, and then we're gonna see who has